A song is stuck in your head right now, so you're doing what everyone does, concentrating harder to force it out, waiting for it to fade on its own, telling yourself to just stop thinking about it. But it won't go, not that way, it never does. And that's not bad luck. Every one of those moves is the reason it's still playing. You are pressing the wrong lever. So what actually shuts an earworm off, if not willpower? And why does the real fix have almost nothing to do with your thoughts? Stay, and you'll learn the counterintuitive off switch, the one nearly everybody has been reaching straight past their whole life. First, the thing that should make you feel a little better. Whatever is looping in your head right now, you didn't do anything to deserve it. You're not tired, or scattered, or losing your grip. This is one of the most ordinary things a human brain does. James Caleres, a researcher who has spent years studying exactly this, laid out his surveys for the Society for Consumer Psychology back in the early 2000s, and his headline number is blunt. Around 99% of people get songs stuck in their heads. Not most people. Nearly all of them. And in 2012, a researcher named Lori Liikanen put the question to roughly 12,000 people at once. Almost 9 in 10 of them reported getting one at least every single week. So this is not a flaw in you. It is a feature of the machine, running, on schedule, in almost every head on Earth. Which makes the real question a strange one. If everybody's brain does this, why has nobody ever told you how to turn it off? Start with what the thing actually is. Because the name matters more than it sounds like it should. It isn't a song stuck in your head. That's the folk version. In 2010, in the British Journal of Psychology, 2 researchers, Philip Beeman and Tim Williams, gave it a proper one. Involuntary musical imagery. Music that plays in your mind without you ever choosing to start it. Read those 2 words again. Involuntary. Imagery. Nobody pressed play. There is no sound in the room. It is your own memory system, running a fragment of a song on a loop. A real measurable event happening inside you, without your permission. And here is the first clue the whole video turns on. It is almost never the whole song. It's a scrap, a few seconds, the chorus, the hook, one line, caught on repeat, right at the edge, never quite finishing. Beeman and Williams noticed that too. And they noticed something you can test tonight. Sometimes, if you let that fragment play all the way through to the end, the real end, the final note, the loop lets go. They called it closure. The scrap kept circling because it never got to finish. Hold on to that. We come back to it. As for what sets it off in the first place, that part is almost boring. Vicky Williamson at Goldsmiths in London found the triggers are tiny and ordinary. A song you half heard an hour ago, a stray word, a mood, a couple of notes that happen to rhyme with something buried. Small keys, turning a very big loop. But that raises the obvious question, why this song? Why the one you can't stand and never the one you love? It is not random. Some songs are simply built to loop. And in 2017, a researcher named Kelly Yakubowski measured what they have in common. 3 things, mostly. They tend to move at a faster tempo, quick enough to feel a little urgent. They follow a common, easy melodic shape, the kind of rise and fall your brain has heard 1,000 times and can predict in its sleep. And then tucked inside that familiar shape, one odd interval. An unexpected jump that doesn't quite sit right. Familiar enough to sing along to. Strange enough that your brain snags on the strange part. That combination is the hook, in the most literal sense, a barb. So the song you are cursing didn't ambush you by chance. It was, by accident, engineered. Fast, smooth, and just wrong enough to catch. And it caught you, which means you're not weak for getting stuck with it. You got hooked by a thing that was accidentally designed to hook you. So how do you actually kill it? Go back to the very first thing you did when the song started, because it is the same thing everyone does, and it is the reason you are still here 3 minutes later with the song still playing. You tried to think it away. You concentrated harder, trying to shove it out. You waited, hoping it would fade if you just ignored it long enough. You told yourself, firmly, to stop. 3 moves, and all 3 are the same move wearing different clothes. All 3 aim your willpower straight at the song. Here is why that fails. The earworm is not sitting in the part of your mind that thinks. It is running somewhere older and simpler, the little inner voice you use to rehearse a phone number, or to mouth a sentence a half second before you say it out loud. Psychologists call it the subvocal rehearsal loop. It is the machinery you talk to yourself with. You can feel it working right now. Read this next word silently, hello, and notice the tiny soundless movement your mouth almost makes. That flicker is the loop. It is a voice with no volume. And a song, looping silently, is that exact machinery, caught in gear and left running. So when you concentrate on making it stop, you are hauling on a lever that isn't attached to it. Willpower is in one room, the song is playing in another. You can pull that lever all day, the loop just keeps turning, completely untouched, because nothing you are doing actually reaches the place it lives. That is the wrong lever. Not a weak effort, a misaimed one. And here is the trap inside the trap. The lever feels connected. Pulling harder feels like it should do something, so you pull harder. And the song, which was never on the other end of it, plays on. And it explains the part that feels almost personal. You can pour in more focus, more effort, more quiet fury, and none of it lands anywhere near the loop. The loop doesn't get weaker, it doesn't get stronger either. It just keeps turning, exactly as it was, while you wear yourself out on a handle bolted to the wrong wall. So if thinking harder is the wrong lever, where is the right one? The answer is almost insultingly physical. You don't outthink an earworm. You occupy the machine it is running on. In 2015, Philip Beeman was back, this time with Kitty Powell and Ellie Rapley, at the University of Reading. Their paper has one of the great titles in all of psychology. Want to block earworms from conscious awareness? Buy gum. Buy gum, because you chew it. Here is what they found. Across 3 separate experiments, chewing gum cut the number of intrusive musical thoughts, both the ones people called up on purpose and the ones that arrived uninvited. And no, it wasn't just that chewing gave people something else to think about. They checked for that in the 3rd experiment and ruled it out. It wasn't distraction doing the work. It was interference, mechanical, specific, physical. Because that same subvocal machinery, the part that silently mouths along to the song, is the part you commandeer the moment you start moving your jaw. Chewing and silently singing both want the same muscles, the same little motor program. And they cannot both have it. You cannot rehearse the tune and work a piece of gum at the same time. The loop needs the mouth, so take the mouth. That is the right lever, not your willpower, your jaw. And once you can see the shape of it, occupy the machinery, do not argue with it. The other 2 fixes fall right into line. Remember closure from 2010? Let the fragment finish. The reason it kept circling was that it never reached its ending. It just snapped back to the start, over and over, an unfinished sentence. So finish it. Play the actual song, once, all the way through to its final note, and hand the loop the ending it was denied. It stops circling because it is finally properly done. Or take the last one from Jakubowski's work. Switch the mental radio, put on a different song, a real one, out loud in your ears, and let it walk onto the stage. Heard music and imagined music are fighting over the same equipment in your head, and the real one, the one actually reaching your ears, wins that fight every time. The intruder gets crowded straight out by a louder, realer neighbor. Gum, closure, a different song. 3 different levers, and every one of them connects to the machine. Now notice what none of them is. Not one of them is willpower. Not one of them is trying harder. Each one reaches past your thoughts and puts a hand directly on the loop. So here is what I want to leave you with. The song was never stuck. Stuck is the wrong word, and it's the word that makes you fight. Stuck means jammed, trapped, wedged in, out of your hands. But a loop isn't stuck. A loop is playing. And a loop only plays because something, somewhere, is holding the button down. That something was you. Not on purpose. But every time you concentrated, and waited, and ordered the thing to stop, your thumb stayed right there on play, leaning on the one lever that was never ever going to move. You were not trapped in there with it. You were the one pressing it. So tomorrow, when the next one starts, and it will, you are in the 99%. Don't reach for the willpower. Don't wrestle the loop. Move your jaw. Finish the song. Change the station. Take your thumb off the button. And listen to how quiet the wrong lever gets. The very moment you finally stop pulling on it.